What's going on, everyone? It's the Clumsy Shark here, back with another video. In today's video, I'm starting a new series which will be called Rating Climb, and in this series, I'll kind of just be going through the different ELO rating climbs and hopefully try and make it to 1000. So, let's get into it. So, let's start our first 10 minute, and we're playing as white. So, let's open up with e4, and we're playing against Jeb QCR. Replies with e5. Let's play a standard knight f3. Potentially could reply. Oh, plays the Philidor defense. Let's just develop the bishop, kind of aiming towards this weak f7 pawn, which is only protected by the king. Could be potentially has a lot of different options. Most common would be either by developing this knight or this knight. Interesting. That's kind of an odd move, but I think we'll just actually, let's just attack the center straight away. Let's just, yeah, put pressure on that pawn. If he doesn't decide to take, if he decides to take, actually, then that just allows us to kind of just develop our queen. He could gain a bit of tempo, but that's not too much of a problem. Let's just slide our queen back. Can always just castle on the next turn. Could develop this knight, develop the bishop out here. And seems like a pretty decent position here. Let's just develop the knight. We could even place it here. And there's a lot of different options we could do here, but let's just castle, get our king to safety. Can always just move the rook here, offer extra protection for this pawn. We can always just even push this pawn, because then could allow us just, I don't know, just attacking the knight. But I think most likely outcome, we'll just have to put the knight here, and then potentially add pressure to the bishop and the knight to push, but I think that would end up leading him to lose a pawn. He does decide to attack this bishop. Um, However, wouldn't say that's a great move. Let's just actually just drop the bishop back here. No, just continue defending that pawn. That knight's kind of weirdly placed and does decide to attack the center. Which is kind of what it is. But you know what? Let's just prepare this a3 b4 push, potentially trying to push this knight away. Oh, interesting. He kind of just fell right into here, kind of a nice fork here. So that's good. Potentially even trying to attack like one of your opponent's pieces. You could just go with a3 and then b4. So here, kind of, ooh, this is a good play. Actually, not really, because we can probably take back attacks. But we can just move the knight here, attack here. Interesting. I don't know what his plan is here, but we could always just develop the knight, reveal kind of an attack here. This is kind of what we'll do. Let's just rotate the knight. If he decides to take, oh, actually, no, this knight is actually safe. So, um, we can honestly just rotate the bishop here, give a bit more pressure here. If he decides to actually take the knight, I'm not too worried. We'll kind of be up a piece, and then if he does decide to take it, kind of will be what it is. I'll just take here, takes back with the rook. Um, Not a bad option. It's not a bad option. Potentially could even develop here, potentially attacking this bishop. Could gain a bit of tempo. However, I still have to be conscious that potentially. Ooh. Yeah, yeah. kind of just attacks the rook. Um, but that's not too big of a problem. Can always put it here. You know what? Hmm. Nothing's stopping us from just taking here. Let's just take. I don't think there's too much he could potentially do about this. He could always play his rook right here, which could be an option. But I think that wouldn't be the greatest option though. Um, Decides to kind of move. Uh, we could potentially try and go for like a trade of bishops here. Pretty equal position, I'd say so far. Hmm, interesting. Kind of wants to take. Let's just trade it off and then potentially even just. Oh, attacks it twice. Hmm, let's not be too worried. I mean, is there a way we could potentially defend this pawn with the knight? Or attack something else? Does not work. I think we'll just try to protect this pawn, and now this pawn's actually hanging. Wow, that was a genius play. Genius move. Hmm, this isn't working too well, I must say. Can always just move the knight here. Probably will take back. Hmm. This is not good looking too good, actually. Um, can we think of something here? He's got a clearly dominant position here, which is very unfortunate. Um, let's see. If we can't really move the rook here. Can't move our queen. It's mostly trapped, I'd say. And if we move here, it's not looking too good either. Is there kind of another way? We could potentially move here. You know what? Let's try. Let's just move it here, see what happens, and then move on from there. Because not only will attack the rook, ooh, that's a good move actually. It's a really good move. But yeah, kind of just threatening checkmate right here. But let's just stop it. We will kind of weaken our dark squares here, but that's not the end of the world. We're still attacking this rook, and potentially even if we slide our queen here, we'll kind of have a nice fork still. We can always move our knight here, revealing kind of this attack on this pawn, and we're still kind of potentially. However, um, most likely we'll move this rook. But let's see. Ooh, interesting. Could there potentially be a way where we could just continue attacking this and then just hmm. There could potentially we could continue. I mean, weakening our king side is not ideal. Oh, but then the problem is if we continue there, then actually this just hangs this pawn. No, it does actually. Yes, the queen, if we block this, that's the only way the queen gets there. If only there was a way I could make my knight a bit more active. Probably the scenario. Let's just reroute our knight. This is hanging now. Unless there's another strategy with this rook that I didn't take into account. Let's not pre-move by accident, actually. But yeah. Then yeah, let's just reroute our knight. And I just realized that we're up material. Um, You know what? Let's continue just attacking these, let's just continue attacking these rooks. That's probably the best bet, actually. Let's continue attacking them. Attacking this rook. Now they're both being attacked. And now my queen is hanging. Not, no, actually, it's not hanging, but I think if we do something like... It's a good move by my opponent. Very annoying. But then, potentially, if we do here, we're still kind of attacking. Then if we move here, actually, the queen's guarding, and you could go there. Hmm. Let's potentially... Hmm. You know what? Let's keep defending that knight, actually. And I have no clue what I'm doing here. Ugh. I mean, this is still kind of hanging. Most likely he'll move that rook out of the way. Potentially, if he moves it back, we can always just continue attacking the queen. And potentially, let's try and get this rook involved into this open file. That would be amazing, actually. Hmm. Most likely they're not. Then not. Actually, we will probably end up losing this game because it seems my opponent has a better position than me. However, cannot be 100% sure. Actually, and oh, come on, you've got to be kidding me. Why? There's a nice fork right here for the between the queen and the rook. Um, but you know what? Oh, it's right here actually. What happens if I just potentially even move my queen here and then just prepare this? That actually doesn't seem like a bad idea. Let's just do that. Who knows? Maybe it's the right move, maybe it's not the right move. Who knows? We'll see. But preparing, I mean, you could move it. Ah, why are you have to be so annoying, my friend? Why? I mean, potentially, even if I go here, then could he have something else? I mean, potentially, even if I go here, hmm. Let's see what is there. We just have to capitalize on the advantage that we have, which is so hard. Potentially, if we check, oh, oh, come on, why? Hmm. You know what? Let's just move the then potentially we can even prepare this kind of attacking. Who knows? That fork is still there. Interesting. Interesting. Sacrifices the rook. I wonder why. Takes here. Yeah, yeah. Let's just kind of offer potentially an exchange of queens. Think that's still not good for him though. Um, he can't really move his queen out of the way, so interesting. Um, but now potentially we can actually just start attacking the king directly. Hopefully we don't blunder anything. Oh, he's actually expecting it. Well then potentially I could force a trade of queens and then that could actually help us out. Yes, yes, yes. This is a good position actually. Check. It's gonna force a trade of queens either way. So this is good for us. And then we can actually just utilize our second rook because now we're technically up a rook. And here we go, forcing the trade. Now the only thing is I cannot blunder. But now potentially I can even just get my rook up on the 7th rank and then just start gobbling some pawns up and then hopefully win. Whew. Well, that's very fortunate that my opponent just randomly sacrificed. Oh, oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, potentially, what could my opponent do here? He could potentially move to a more active position. I think his biggest chance right here is using these two connected pawns here, because I only have one pawn. But we'll see. Who knows? But yeah, my next move is just moving up the rook on the 7th rank, and then trying to gobble away at those pawns. Most likely, if I go here and he pushes that pawn, then it actually potentially just gives up this pawn. But the only problem I have to be really careful about is just my king here. I mean, putting it here is not won't it will be safe now that the queens are out of the are off the board. It's much better. But yeah, we'll see. Oh my god, my heat is just on. So so hot. And my opponent, yeah, is taking a while to think here, which I mean, I probably would too in his position. It's not looking very good. But I mean, I can blunder. I'm known to blunder, so who knows? But we'll see if I can make a challenge of going a full week without blundering a single piece. That will be a challenge one day. And we'll see. I hope we'll be able to achieve this, but who knows? And now my opponent, who had a 2 minute kind of advantage, now we're about equal. I'm either he's given up or he's just thinking of all the possibilities, which are kind of not that good. I mean, he's pretty much got four moves here, here, or here, and that's about it. So we'll see. Um, you could always potentially even gain a tempo. Actually, no, that's not even gaining a tempo, because if you push this pawn here, I just check with the rook and then kind of get a free pawn. But my opponent does have four pawns opposed to my three pawns. So if he could potentially find a way to trade, kind of win a rook, he'd have the advantage. Now we're getting down to the final 30 seconds. We'll see what he does. And now we're getting to the final 20 seconds, 15 seconds. Now the question is, will he make a move or not? I don't think he'll make a move, which is quite unfortunate, but hey, that's good though. Our first win on the rating climb, and I'm sure I'll be in this position. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.